Silver Creek, Montana. A quiet town nestled between mountains and pine forests. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and crime feels like something that happens somewhere else. That peace shattered on October 3, 2020, when Melissa Grant, a 34-year-old English teacher at Silver Creek High, vanished without a trace. Melissa wasn't just a teacher. She was the heart of the community, creative, kind, and known for mentoring struggling students. She led book clubs, volunteered at the animal shelter, and was adored by nearly everyone who knew her. That morning, when she didn't show up for class, her co-workers grew concerned. By noon, her phone went straight to voicemail. At 6 p.m., police found her Honda Civic abandoned on a rural dirt road just outside town. Doors locked, keys still inside, purse untouched. At first glance, it looked like a random act of violence. Maybe she'd stopped to help someone and been taken. But the more investigators looked, the stranger it got. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints, and no witnesses. Silver Creek was shaken. Vigils were held. Flyers went up. And as days turned into weeks, hope began to fade, until detectives found something that changed everything. Detectives started with those closest to her. Her co-workers described her as cheerful but lately distant. Her students said she'd been distracted. Her ex-husband, Evan Marshall, told police they were still on friendly terms after their divorce, though he admitted she'd been seeing someone new. Then came the first clue. Melissa's best friend, Hannah Cole, revealed that Melissa had recently confided she was being followed. She thought someone was watching her, parking outside her house, leaving small gifts on her porch. Police initially suspected Evan. He had a motive, proximity, and a history of jealousy. But his alibi checked out. He was at a family reunion 2 states away the entire weekend. Then investigators reviewed Melissa's phone records. Late-night calls, unfamiliar numbers, and one that stood out, a private line belonging to Deputy Adam Keller, a married sheriff's deputy leading part of the investigation. When questioned, Keller claimed it was professional contact, just helping a concerned citizen. But his tone, his shifting answers, and the fact that he deleted several messages from that same period raised red flags. Detectives began to suspect this case wasn't random at all. It was personal. 3 weeks into the search, a 17-year-old student named Sophie Blake came forward. She said Melissa had confided in her, whispering one day after class that she'd fallen for someone she shouldn't love. Sophie remembered Melissa saying, "If anyone finds out, it'll ruin both our lives." When police revisited Keller's background, the puzzle began to form. His GPS logs showed his patrol car parked less than 2 miles from where Melissa's vehicle was found on the night she vanished. Security footage from a gas station captured a black Ford F-150, matching Keller's truck, following Melissa's car. And when detectives examined phone records, they found a 23-minute call between Keller and Melissa that ended just before her phone went dark forever. That was enough for a warrant. Inside Keller's home, they found traces of blood in his truck bed and dirt on his boots that matched soil near a secluded creek, property owned by his family. When confronted, Keller broke. His calm demeanor vanished. His story changed, again and again. Keller finally confessed. He and Melissa had been having a secret affair for nearly a year. She believed he'd leave his wife. He promised he would. But when she discovered he'd lied, and intended to expose the relationship, he panicked. That night, she'd called him, demanding honesty. They met near the creek to talk. They argued. He claimed she slipped and hit her head. But investigators knew better. The evidence pointed to deliberate violence. Instead of calling for help, Keller buried her near the water, drove her car to the roadside, and staged the scene to look like a random disappearance. He returned to work the next morning, helping lead the search for the woman he'd just killed. After a month of digging through cold ground and colder lies, search dogs found her remains, buried in a shallow grave near Silver Creek. Keller was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of authority. During the trial, the prosecution revealed that Keller had used his position as an officer to delay leads and manipulate the investigation. The betrayal cut deep, not just for Melissa's loved ones, but for an entire town that once trusted him to protect them. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole. At her memorial, hundreds gathered at the school auditorium. Her students read poems she'd helped them write. One of them said through tears, "She taught us that words can change the world." But she never got the chance to tell her final story. The town of Silver Creek still remembers Melissa Grant, not as a victim, but as a voice for truth. Her story became a reminder that sometimes evil hides behind familiar faces, and that even in the quietest places, secrets can echo louder than gunfire.